So, we have already looked at the best WWE pay-per-views of the 2010s last week, and I know I forgot some. Okay, let me live, I'm only human, but now it's time to look back at the worst WWE pay-per-views of the 2010s. You guys already know I like to be positive on this channel, but hey man, every now and then you gotta look back at the dumb shit and just roast it. And trust me, there has been a lot of dumb shit, from Saudi shows to shows I forgot even existed, to a show that was almost cancelled due to a terrorist threat. Yeah, it's been a weird decade. Also, I am going to lay off the Saudi shows in this video because everybody and their mom has already roasted those. Anyway, I don't think this topic really deserves some crazy hype introduction that I usually do, so let's just get into it. Let's go back and take a look at the worst WWE pay-per-views of the 2010s. Let's start off with SummerSlam 2010. The memories. It's the summer of 2010, Nexus had just made their debut a few months ago, and they were wilding out like no other. Had one of the best debuts ever, had a fire theme song, and they were just tearing shit up. Little 13-year-old me loved them. This was when I had first discovered the internet wrestling community and was basically brainwashed into loving every heel and hating every face. Yes, poor little me had lost my innocence, so I was big into Nexus. I even bought the shirt. Yeah, not one of my better fashion choices. So it was finally time for SummerSlam 2010, the big battle, Nexus versus Team WWE. Before that, we had a whole show. The first match of the night, Dolph Ziggler versus Kofi Kingston for the IC title. Now this could have been amazing. What a way to start the night. They can definitely steal the show. And it ended in a DQ after 7 minutes. Randy Orton versus Sheamus. Should be decent, right? Oh wait, another DQ. You get a DQ, you get a DQ, everybody gets a DQ. Hey, so we have this group called the Straight Edge Society. CM Punk is a god on the mic, and it's a good group getting a lot of heat while they're versing the Big Show in a 3-on-1 handicap match. Hey, let's have the Big Show beat all three of them by himself, cause who cares about the Straight Edge Society? Oh man. So Kane and Mysterio was decent and Undertaker came back, which was fun, but everybody was here for one reason. Nexus versus Team WWE. So Team WWE, John Cena, Bret Hart, yeah, you heard me right, Chris Jericho, Edge, John Morrison, R-Truth, and a returning Daniel Bryan who had just gotten rehired after being fired, who was also an original member of Nexus. Versus Team Nexus. This was going to be so hype. What was going to happen? Was Nexus going to dominate? Would Wade Barrett be the sole survivor? Maybe Justin Gabriel would do a 450 splash off the stage and kill everybody? Or maybe Daniel Bryan would turn on WWE and join back Nexus? The options were endless. Everyone was so excited. And John Cena went Super Cena mode, of course. Yo, this finish was so bad that even Edge and Jericho a few years later on Jericho's podcast were criticizing it. This was just bad. The ending was bad, Super Cena was bad, they killed the entire Nexus angle here. They tried their best to save it, but after this, it was a wrap. The entire show was bad. What kind of crack were the WWE writers on at this point? John doesn't want Nexus to win. Alright, if John doesn't want it, you know what? We don't want it either. What? Over the Limit 2011. Only thing over the limit on this pay-per-view was people's boredom and the blood alcohol levels of the idiots who were doing the WWE storylines at this point. First off, I'll say this. Christian and Randy Orton had a great match on the night. As usual, they put on amazing performances and by this time they were both killing it. But other than that, this show sucked. Okay, let's play a little quick game. Now, is this a pay-per-view or an episode of Superstars from 2011? Ezekiel Jackson versus Wade Barrett. Sin Cara versus Chavo Guerrero. Wow, amazing pay-per-view quality matches. All this time, CM Punk's talents were being wasted teaming with WWE's Batista replacement, Mason Ryan. So it was them two versus Kane and the Big Show. What the hell was this, 2006? Why are Kane and Big Show still teaming up? It's fine, it gets better. You know, how about Michael Cole versus Jerry the King Lawler in a Kiss My Foot match? Why? God, why? People were tired of this at WrestleMania 27. We are almost 2 months removed and this was still happening. After the match was over, they gave Michael Cole a facial of Jim Ross's barbecue sauce. And then King put his foot in Cole's mouth while Bret Hart had him in the sharpshooter. What? And yo, you wanted some more WrestleMania 27 rematches? How about Cena versus The Miz? I Quit match. Cena legit got tortured. But it's fine, he just became Super Cena and won. What a horrible pay-per-view. It's like, yo, WrestleMania 27 was kind of a flop and the only reason it was lit was Triple H and Undertaker and The Rock coming back. How about we have rematches on top of house show matches? Oh my god. This was horrible. Now I remember why I took a break from watching wrestling during this point. This was just so bad. In 2012, they were trying to sell pay-per-views with the storyline of John Cena versus John Laurinaitis. So we got a lot of bad pay-per-views, but the pay-per-view that I hate the most of that year, Hell in a Cell. Man, in the 2010s, they made the Hell in a Cell match just another match. As kids, when we found out that Triple H was going to verse Batista in a Hell in a Cell match, it was like, oh my god, it's going to be a war. Or if you're older, when you probably found out that Foley was going to verse Triple H in a Hell in a Cell match, you're probably so excited. In 2012, we got CM Punk versus Ryback in a Hell in a Cell match, which ended in a referee interference. Yo man, Hell in a Cell was a sacred match type, not a random match that CM Punk should be casually versing Ryback in. Hell in a Cell matches went from being wars to them being matches that ended in disqualifications, holograms, and for some reason Ryback and CM Punk had a Hell in a Cell match. But overall, this pay-per-view was just the most random match card of all time. Sheamus and Big Show had a match for 20 minutes. Not the worst match, but 20 minutes? I say that as I'm probably gonna have a 20-minute video. So in the comments, tell me, would you rather watch Big Show and Sheamus for 20 minutes or your boy Wrestling Gifts? On the same pay-per-view, we got just random matches like Cesaro versus Justin Gabriel, Kofi versus Miz for the 100th time since 2008, Alberto Del Rio versus a very bored Randy Orton. The one match that could have been really fire, Cody Rhodes and Damien Sandow versus Team Hell No, of course ended in a disqualification. Rough times. But don't worry, times are gonna get even more rough next year. SummerSlam 2013 was such a high, an amazing pay-per-view, and after it ended we were thinking of all the possibilities of where the WWE can go. And they didn't really go far, because we got Battleground 2013 a few weeks later. So Del Rio and RVD for the world title was fine, even though everybody knew RVD was going to lose. And of course, Goldust and Cody versus The Shield is one of the best matches of the entire decade. But other than that, oh my god, was this show bad. The Real Americans versus the Great Khali and Santino Marella. What the hell? And then no, it gets better. Curtis Axel versus R-Truth. And 1 year later, we are still getting Ryback versus CM Punk on a pay-per-view. And then the main event? Okay, it's Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton. Damn, this could be really fun. And it was, until the Big Show interfered. This was bad. By far the worst pay-per-view of 2013. Mike Johnson from PW Insider said that the WWE failed that night. And they definitely did. He also said that they really owe their audience an apology. Imagine putting out a pay-per-view so bad that critics are saying you should apologize to your fans. Oh, and the WWE just kept on going with the bad pay-per-views. So Survivor Series 2013 was coming up and you would think, oh hey, it's a Big 4 pay-per-view, let's improve our product. No, let's do the Big Show versus Randy Orton for the title as the main event. Who in the blue hell thought it was gonna be a good idea to have the Big Show versus Randy Orton in the main event of Survivor Series? John Cena and Alberto Del Rio had the most average match ever. We had Mark Henry versus Ryback. The women's elimination tag match was the most rushed match you'll ever see. There were 12 eliminations in 12 minutes. But yo, I just can't believe that we actually got Randy Orton versus The Big Show in a main event of a pay-per-view in the 2010s. Royal Rumble 2014. That's it. As soon as I say that year and that Rumble, you already know what the hell went down. Let's fast forward to the end of the year, TLC 2014. How could anyone ever forget the legendary TLC 2014? Oh my god, remember the 5-star classic, Big Show versus Eric Rowan in a stairs match. And if that wasn't entertaining enough for you, how about Kane versus Ryback in a chairs match? So much creativity, wow, amazing. The main event was TLC match, Ambrose versus Wyatt, and it was fine, it was good. Until Ambrose lost because a TV monitor exploded in his face. By this point, I'm 99% sure they were calling Vince Russo on the phone and were like, yo, just book our pay-per-views, book our main events. Remember the time ISIS and Fetty Wap were running shit? Well, he's talking about 2016 in the tweet, but even back in 2015, ISIS was wildin'. Those fuckers were threatening to do an attack at Survivor Series 2015, and thank God it didn't happen. That was a scary time, to be honest, a lot of tension, but luckily it didn't happen and any disaster was avoided. Scary times. But that didn't stop the WWE from producing a pretty bad pay-per-view. It wasn't the worst show, but I feel like this whole show was just there to have The Undertaker make his entrance at Survivor Series, and then have him do his signature spots and leave. And then they're like, alright, we're already here, we have a pay-per-view, might as well, I don't know, just have Sheamus cash in his Money in the Bank for some reason, even though nobody has cared about him for the past few months because he's been booked so poorly. Not the most boring pay-per-view or the worst, but just a head scratcher. 2016 in my opinion was the best year of the decade in terms of WWE, so let's go straight to 2017. Although SummerSlam 2016 wasn't the best show. Remember when Lesnar killed Randy Orton for no reason? Fastlane 2017. There was some good on this card. Samoa Joe versus Sami Zayn and Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman and the Cruiserweight match. But on the same night, we had a random unannounced Jinder Mahal match, followed by a random unannounced Big Show match. The Bayley and Charlotte match was going really good, and then it just ended awkwardly when Sasha Banks kind of cheated to help Bayley win, and then they just ended Charlotte's 18 pay-per-view win streak a month before WrestleMania, and then the show ended with Goldberg beating Kevin Owens for the WWE title in 22 seconds just because they wanted Lesnar versus Goldberg to be for the title at Mania. This was just weird. It's not the worst pay-per-view, but just so many dumb decisions. They kind of ruined so many things they could have done at Mania. Like, okay, oh hey, it's Mania. Will Bayley finally win the big one on the grandest stage of them all? Oh wait, never mind. We did that on a random Raw. Will Charlotte finally lose her crown as Queen of Pay-Per-View? Oh, she already did? Okay, moving on. Can anyone stop Braun Strowman? Never mind, apparently he's already been stopped. Okay, can the newly serious Kevin Owens continue his reign of destruction? Of course, he lost in 22 seconds. Battleground 2017. Battleground, we meet again. The main event was a Punjabi prison match, Jinder Mahal versus Randy Orton. Listen man, as a Punjabi who's also from Canada, just like Jinder and just like the Singh brothers, there is no one who wanted this reign and this match to excel more than me. No one. This match went as you expected, and it ended with the Great Khali interfering. Yeah, this was bad. And then on the same night, we got John Cena versus Rusev in a flag match. What's a flag match, you may ask? Do you really want to know? Sami Zayn defeated Mike Kanellis. Alright, AJ Styles and Kevin Owens could have been epic. Instead, it was just, oh, okay, whatever. Nakamura and Baron Corbin ended in a DQ. The only match that was really amazing was the Usos versus the New Day. The only issue was that opened the show. So after the first match, it was all downhill. This was just sad because this was like the official end to the amazing SmackDown era of 2016 and early 2017. After this night, we knew it was a wrap. Rest in peace 2016 and early 2017 SmackDown. Retweet if you remember. Well, we made it. It's time for the last pay-per-view of the video, Backlash 2018. I forgot this show happened, and now I'm depressed because I remember how I felt watching this. I usually just watch pay-per-views now, and they suck, it's fine, life goes on, I move on, I go to sleep, and I forget it happened. But this show actually made me angry. So, it started off so amazing. Seth Rollins versus The Miz for the IC title. Banger. Awesome match. Go back and watch it, and it was just so fire. But after that, it felt like I was watching a TNA Impact episode from 2011. So Nia Jax versus Alexa Bliss was just boring. Jeff Hardy versus Randy Orton, this was their first match in 10 years after having a big rivalry in 2008. 12 minutes later, Jeff Hardy won and nobody watching cared. We then had a 10-minute Elias promo, then we got Daniel Bryan versus Big Cass, and this match is infamous. A match can't feel like a random SmackDown TV match more than this one. Carmella and Charlotte could have been really good, but it was just 10 minutes of Carmella stalling, but it's fine. At the end of the day, the main event was a no DQ match, AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Nakamura was a heel now. AJ Styles is the GOAT. It's time for them to turn up and just go at it and put on a classic, some Wrestle Kingdom type stuff. I was amped, I was hyped, and it's no disqualification as well. And it was fun, it was a good match. But then it ended because both men kicked each other in the groin and couldn't answer the 10 count. I'm not kidding, that was the finish. Two elite world-class wrestlers lost because they kicked each other in the groin and couldn't answer the 10 count in a no disqualification match. Like, the entire card could have sucked, it could have been the worst card ever, but at least you're like, you know what, AJ Styles and Nakamura are gonna kill it. and the only thing they killed was each other's balls. What the hell? This was so disappointing, man. But yeah, those were the worst pay-per-views of the 2010s. I probably forgot some, but I think I covered most of the bad ones. I don't know, man, that's the thing about this decade. When the WWE was good, it was really good, but when it was bad, they were out here giving us Big Show versus Randy Orton for the WWE title. What a weird decade. So, in the comments, let me know what was the most boring and just worst pay-per-view that you watched in the past decade. What was the pay-per-view that when you were finished watching it, you were just disappointed, you were just angry, and you were just like, yo, I can't believe I spent my 4 hours watching this garbage. Regardless, like I said, I like to be positive on this channel, so more fun videos coming soon. I just wanted to sit back and just talk some shit for a while. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more content coming soon.